Hello again. Woo! Okay, I'm going to give y'all a primer for the breathwork session, which we will do on Monday at 5 p.m. PST. Breathwork is fucking amazing. I can't even believe how incredible it is. Some of you have done a breathwork session with me before and you experienced and you're like, whoa, right? So I'm going to tell you a bit about breath work and this particular kind of active breath work that I do that I'm going to lead you through. It has been transformational for me. It is an incredibly simple, free tool that has insane benefits, insane physical, mental, and emotional benefits. It's so powerful. So the way that I'll describe breath work, it's an active meditation process. And this I got from one of my mentors. I'm reading a definition. An active meditation process that slows the mind, heals the body, and activates the spirit. Okay, so what breath work does for us is it, on a health level, on a physical health level, it's a body detox. It's a body detox. It creates increased mental clarity, increased cognition. It has an anti-inflammatory effect. It alkalizes the blood. It relieves depression, anxiety, and stress straight up. It provides an energy boost. And what I'll say on this too is that if you do it at like 10 p.m., like the body is very intelligent. The body has its own intelligence. It will create a calming effect. It'll do whatever it needs to do for you in individual sessions. And what you'll see if you start practicing this consistently, which I highly recommend that you do, you have different experiences, different times. So you could do breath work at 10 p.m. and it could calm your system and your body and prepare you for sleep. I do it frequently around like 2 p.m. or when I notice my energy is dipping, or when I am tired and there's something else I would like to do that day. I'll do a breathwork session and I'm like, whoa, I'm reborn. I'm reborn. So it can serve as an energy boost, but know that don't worry about what time of day you're doing. Your body is very intelligent and will get from the experience whatever it needs to get. So it creates mood elevation, and it can help you to access mystical states. So what you'll notice, well, you may or may not experience this, but breath work can actually release, our pineal gland naturally releases DMT when we are dreaming, when we are born, and when we are dying. And it can happen in breath work too. So it's possible to access mystical states through breath work, which is pretty interesting and cool. So it oxygenates our entire system. It's so good for you. Those are just some of the physical health benefits. And I really want you to hear this too, because like, you know, we can hear this and we're like, oh yeah, oh, okay, relieves stress, relieves anxiety, but like literally in a very short amount of time, and you can feel effects after doing it once. If you do this consistently, I do this a handful of times a week. I'll do usually like a more full-on session like we're gonna do, which is gonna be a 40-minute session on Monday. I'll do one of those usually around once a week. Sometimes I do them, I have done it every day, like those longer ones every day. And it's just so incredible. But even shorter sessions, I'm going to also share the link to a shorter 11-minute Wim Hof one that's an active breath work. It has more breath holding, but it is great if you want to do something quickly. I'll share the link of the one I do frequently. But I really want you to hear everything that I just described. Body detox, increased mental clarity, anti-inflammatory effect, releases and reduces stress, depression, and anxiety, creates an energy boost, creates mood elevation, and can help you access mystical states. You can do this anytime. Like if you actually do this, your life changes. My life has totally changed since I started doing this. So that's on the physical level. On the emotional level, it and the energetic level, it helps us to release stuck emotions. So you may notice when we're doing it, there may be emotions that surface. It helps us release stuck energy in our physical body, in our emotional body, our energy body. And that it actually raises your vibration, your energetic vibration, because you're releasing stuckness. So you can release suppressed emotions, and that's stuck emotions, as we talked about the compound effect with emotions. And it just brings us into balance. It can help you gain clarity. It can help you access your intuition. It's just incredible. So you can set an intention before a session and come out and like feel clarity or feel like an answer arrived. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's so great. So we can also look at breath work as a channel for releasing resistance. And we've been talking about resistance. Resistance comes from the ego. Ninjita is the ego. Resistance comes from the ego because we're trying to resist a new way of being, when really the new way of being is often a portal for more expansion and growth for us, right? So what you will probably notice, you may even feel this way of like, we're doing a breathwork session on Monday at 5 p.m. It's, we didn't put that on the calendar ahead of time. So if you can't make it, that's okay. But like, notice if you don't want to do it, and notice if you're feeling like, oh yeah, well, okay, like, yeah, embodiment, whatever, blah, blah, we'll get to that. Like, this is actually the stuff. This is actually the stuff. I highly, highly recommend coming live. And I highly, highly recommend introducing this practice, this modality as part of your life. It's fucking crazy. Ben and I do breath work together and separately, and we started doing it around the same time. And we have noticed, like, we've been reflecting back to each other, like, we don't get stressed by things. We don't feel a stress response to things that used to create a stress response for us, or like we're just really noticing some big shifts. And anyway, we're having fun reflecting on it with each other. It's incredible. It's a healing modality. It is a healing modality. It is energizing. It is good for your physical, mental, emotional, and energetic health. So that being said, a few things a few physical or emotional sensations that you may experience. Your experience could be many things. And what you'll see if you do breath work multiple times and integrate this practice into your life is that you'll have different experiences in different sessions. So essentially what we're doing when we are doing breath work is we're creating a shift in the oxygen and carbon dioxide levels in our body during the session. So because of that, we will experience some sensations, right? So we're essentially, we're over oxygenating our body, and our body isn't used to that, because like a lot of time from trauma or learned body behaviors or whatever it might be, we're not actually breathing enough or deeply, or like belly breaths. You've heard me talk about this, right? But like, breath is an incredibly important thing and helps us regulate everything. So we're over oxygenating our body, which can create sensations we're not used to. So you will notice, you might notice a feeling of like a lightness. Your extremities might tingle. And what you might notice too is your hands might cramp up. This is called lobster claws. I think the scientific name for it is tetany. Tetany. But you might notice your feet or your hands cramping up and tightness in your face, like your mouth might kind of be cramped up. This is because basically because we are shifting our oxygen levels and over oxygenating the body, we're shifting the pH levels in our blood, and then our muscles respond to that. And if we're not always used to it, so we can kind of like cramp. It's also a kind of a resistance thing. So that could happen, and it's totally okay. There's no problem. You're totally safe in that. It's completely normal. In fact, it's like, oh, great, you're doing it. It's working. So your muscles, especially your hands might kind of cramp up, and you might notice after the session, you're kind of like, whoa, oh, okay, it takes a little bit to come out of it. So that's totally normal. You may have feelings come up. You might have old memories that want your attention and want your healing. You might have, you might start laughing in the middle of it. You might start crying. You might feel anger. You might feel things. Those are stuck emotions getting released, which is part of why our ego wants to resist breath work. And what you're going to notice is that likely you will experience a lot of resistance in the first 5 minutes. So you're not going to want to do it. Your brain, your ego is going to be like, let's stop. This is part of why I want you to come live if possible, and do it with the recording where possible. You can also guide yourself, but where you can get accountability, especially when you're first starting out, is really helpful, because your ego will be like, let's stop. Let's not do this. Let's do this later. Let's blah, 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 blah. It's resistance, right? And resistance comes from the ego, the ninjita. You could also experience dry mouth. Your body temperature might change. So you might get hot, you might sweat, you might get cold. So that's why I recommend having layers and having a blanket nearby. The way that we're going to do this, we're going to lie flat, and we're going to have our a pillow under our knees. So no pillow under our head, because we want a clear airway, but a pillow under our knees. And the breath pattern, I will guide you more in our session, but it's all through the mouth. It's an active pattern, and it's in 80% our belly, 20% our chest, out our mouth. So in a circular. And yeah, I'll guide you more on that as we go in the session. But that's all some things you could expect, and you might experience. Also, as I mentioned, the potential mystical experience. Like, whatever happens is great. Know that you are in control the whole time, and that it's all totally safe. And that you may experience some interesting physical sensations. You're totally okay. And resistance will come up in the first 5 minutes or so. And after that, you'll reach a rhythm. But know all of that. I am so excited for those of you who haven't done this before to do this. And for those of you who have done this before, to do it again. So that is that. And I will see you at 5 p.m. on Monday, 5 p.m. PST on Monday, if you're able to make it live. And if you are, like I said, we didn't put this on the calendar ahead of time. If you can't make it, okay. But like, if you can, and notice where you don't want to, or you're like, I'm putting that at the bottom of my priority list, or like, notice where you are like, yeah, but the information rather than, and like embodiment, anyway, Okay, yeah, I get it. Embodiment's important. Oh, okay, get it. I get it. Like eating well. Okay. Oh yeah, breath, breath. I know this already. I know this already, right? Just like to do it is an entirely different thing. And to experience the benefits, we have to do it. So I will see you on Monday and talk to you soon.